This year on this program, it is going to be different, and you're going to understand where we're going here in the next few minutes. When you send your kids off to college for a higher education, what do you want? You want them to think for themselves, look and find the answers themselves, or do you want them to get an education with a bias and then they're just zombies? Either a hard liberal spin or a hard conservative spin. I would guess that most Americans would say no. We just want them to teach them how to think, not what to think. Well, we have suspected and actually known that they're getting the bias and they're being taught what to think. Do you remember this picture of Barack Obama? This is Barack Obama as a professor. Now, he's teaching Saul Alinsky there to his class. I mean, what do you think the spin on Saul Alinsky is from Barack Obama? We don't know, but I don't think it takes a professor to figure it out. In the past, we have felt that the liberal bias put together the pieces of liberal propaganda our kids would share with us after attending a college or university, and we'd look at that and say, oh, this is going to be trouble. But now there's proof that it is trouble. There's a study that's going to be released on February 10th, done by the nonprofit, nonpartisan group, the Intercollegiate Studies Institute. Among the findings, listen to this, a college degree moves a person towards the Democrat liberal side of the political spectrum, makes people more likely to support same-sex marriage and abortion. College education also makes you less likely to support school prayer and the American work ethic. The study also shows that greater civic knowledge moves a person towards the Republican conservative pole of the spectrum while producing more independent frame of mind. All of this coincides with the New York Times research that showed that 43% of professors identify themselves as liberals. That's more than any other profession. 9% admit to being a conservative. Whoa. The solution here is not to hire a bunch of conservatives or anything else, and not less college or higher education. It is teaching our children how to think and not what to think. Challenge them. Now, not all professors and certainly not all colleges or universities are dishing out liberal propaganda to American students. But the research shows that our concerns about the likelihood of that happening have been well-founded, and it is causing trouble. There is a great desire to know the truth, but nobody seems to recognize that. Most of us love this country and its rich history. We know that we haven't been a perfect nation, but we believe in its inherent goodness. We're struggling to be better every day. We also have a natural aversion to the progressive agenda being forced down our throats. Let us question ourselves. For too long, the history of this agenda has been covered up. But beginning this Friday, on a special eye-opening edition of the Glenn Beck program, we will air my first documentary. It is called Live Free or Die. I had kind of a private screening in my office today with about 8 different people, and I'm telling you, each one of them about 4 different times went, oh my gosh. You will see the curtain pulled back on an education you never got. The wizard will be exposed. I'm going to give you a taste of this special next. My keyword for me in this show this year is remember. And on Friday, we begin this process. I have a special Live Free or Die. It's my first documentary that I have produced. It details the events that most Americans have never even heard about. If you have heard about them, everything has been turned upside down by the progressive agenda. There are images that you will see on Friday that have, most of them, some of them you have seen, some of them I don't think have ever been seen on television anywhere on the globe. There are stories that most people either don't want to hear or don't want you to hear. I'm going to show you a quick preview, but I have to tell you, on Friday, you must DVR this program. Watch it without your small children, please. What you're going to see on Friday, some of it is extraordinarily disturbing.
A lot of people seem to think that this concept of the gas chamber as a tool of social policy was invented by the Nazis. It wasn't.
to his places of work, to his places of recreation. We will attack the enemy wherever he lives. He preempted Al-Qaeda by 30, 40 years.
Within 1 year, several million people. I believe it is certainly comparable to the great genocides of the 20th century.
My family was in the living room watching television, and they see my grandfather. Of course, they're happy, to see him walking, and they realized that he was walking towards the wall.
It wasn't a mistake. It was intentional policy to exterminate people.
He said that his dream was to become a killing machine.
A great teacher, great leader, Chairman Mao.
Planned and premeditated mass murder.
And nobody was interested in knowing about it.
If you're not producing as much as you consume, or perhaps a little more, your life does not benefit us, and it can't be of very much use to yourself.
4, 3, 2.
This thing is going to turn, look out, it is the battlefield of ideas. This thing's going to open up the very gates of hell, and they're going to unleash on me on this one. You want to set your DVR this Friday. Tell your friends. Do not miss this special Live Free or Die. We'll be right back. The Real Che, Stalin's genocide, the horrors of communism, and the history progressives do not want you to read. Sign up for my free email newsletter at glennbeck.com, and then tune in Friday for the debut documentary, The Revolutionary Holocaust, Live Free or Die. Don't miss it. From New York, good night, America.